Western Jamaica, globally recognized as a treasure trove of fun, frolic and luxury accommodations enjoyed by both locals and visitors. None of this, however, is possible without water. The precious commodity is vital for all areas of life. Without it, our existence is virtually unbearable. At the NWC's Western Division, there's a team of professionals, and they are always ready to serve, respond and address your water needs and concerns in St. James, Trelawney, Hanover and Westmoreland.
My name is Herman Fagan. I am the Regional Manager for National Water Commission, St. James and Trelawney.
Curtis Thomas, Maintenance Manager, Western Division.
I'm Nicholas Campbell. I'm the Water Production Manager for Hanover and Westmoreland.
This is a squad of professional and proficient performers entrusted with the responsibility to keep things flowing, especially under trying circumstances. They manage a workforce that is committed, considerate and competent, all in an effort to try and ensure that water is available for your convenience. For you to have access to the commodity, whether it is for domestic and or commercial use, there has to be a source or a point of origin. That source can be referred to as an intake, and Great River, which is on the border of St. James and Hanover, is a major intake that serves several areas in the western part of the island.
So this river here, it actually starts in the parish of St. Elizabeth, all the way in St. Elizabeth. And there are a number of tributaries along the line. And what we basically do here is capture the water, take the water into the intakes. We have a number of pumps, and the water is transferred from there to the treatment plant.
The importance of this facility should not be taken for granted. In many ways, it's a lifeline, especially because of its capacity.
This facility has a capacity to produce 15 million gallons per day. The production is in excess of 380 million gallons monthly, which computes to about 65% of total water production for the parish of St. James. That covers maybe about 75% of our customer base. So it gives an indication as to the significance and importance of this facility.
An important feature of the intake are these pieces of metal infrastructure. They are called gratings.
So we have primary and secondary gratings. This is the secondary gratings, and this is what it actually looks like. So it's just metal infrastructure, and the water flows through here, and go all the way down into a 32 inches pipe and go into the intake infrastructure. These gratings are primarily used for the purpose of capturing as much of the water as possible on the secondary side.
Close to the intake, there is this area which houses several pumps. It is of critical importance to the water production process.
This is where the water is transferred via 4 pumps to the treatment plant. This area is critical to the whole operation of the infrastructure. Each pump has a capacity of 5.5 million gallons per day. 3 operate continuous to give you little over 15 million gallons per day.
From the Great River intake, your water is pumped to the Great River treatment plant. This is the plant. Your water has a clear, clean look, primarily because of what takes place here. The plant has several features that are integral to the treatment process. This treatment plant has 2 sections. The new section treats 5 million gallons of water daily, while the old section treats 10 million gallons daily. You are looking at what are called clarifiers that facilitate coagulation and flocculation. Coagulation and flocculation? Sounds like a complicated scientific process.
It's just to get rid of the sediment, which could be the mud because of high turbidity, out of the water, and then it is transferred over to the filter for filtration and then into the clear well for distribution. It should be noted that treatment started immediately. So we start to disinfect the water immediately. So we have pre-chlorination treatment and post-chlorination treatment.
At the treatment facility, quality control is key. Nothing is left to chance, and there is constant monitoring and logging of daily activities. There's a control center at the plant, and the man that tracks and monitors the activities is Dennis Williams, the plant operator. Chlorine and pressures are among the things that are checked.
We have monitors where we check to see the clear well level and also the chlorine level. and at different points where we can see the pressure of the line going into town. Firstly, the pressure can give you as to normally the storage that's in town. The chlorine level tells you the amount of chlorine that's left in the container. And the clearer level gives you a level as to what you're pumping from to town. So at any point in time before a pump can trip, we know whether it's down or up.
Despite the efforts of the staff, there is a major problem that must be contended with year after year. These raging waters result from torrential downpour that lashes sections of the intake. Generally, this takes place between May and October.
So what happens is that whenever the river is in spate, in layman's terms what we call it is that we say the river has on its khaki clothes. So the water is basically murky. So during that period, even though our customers and the public in general knows that we are having inclement weather, for argument's sake, they still expect to receive the service 24 hours. The challenge is, because of the state of the river, is to get the water into the facility. So we basically have to do a number of things. We literally have to be coming to the facility, going into the river, ensuring that the trash and debris does not block the intake so the water can go to the treatment plant itself.
Getting to the intake during times of turbidity is no easy affair. It is quite a distance between the entry point and the actual river. It cannot be overemphasized that it takes a great deal of effort to clean the intake when turbidity issues are encountered.
When the river is in spade, we have what we call a red no-zone line. So that simply means that if it's above certain level, it's unsafe and nobody is allowed to enter the dam area until the river subsides significantly. So once it's in spade, there's nothing we can do. We just have to just leave it for Mother Nature to just run its course there. And after Mother Nature have run its course, we use manpower, 3 or 4 individuals, to clean the gratings.
Despite this, there is no letting up on the demand for water. Customers are being urged to appreciate the difficulties that must be addressed and, where possible, implement contingency measures.
This river starts all the way in St. Elizabeth. So you might be in the town of Montego Bay and there is sunshine, but the river is in spate, there's turbidity. So for the lay customer, they'll be saying that, boy, there's no rain falling and yet still I have a water issue. So what happens is that it starts somewhere and comes right here. So what we want the customers to appreciate is that in those instances, the level of supply might be impacted. So what we basically do, through the community relations and the public relations department, we put out those advisories, be guided so accordingly. So what you basically can do, you can basically store some water for use whilst we try to iron out some of the challenges brought about by Mother Nature, which we have absolutely no control over. So this water goes to, after it leaves the treatment plant, it goes to whatever major storage capacity. It's a 5 million gallon reservoir on Leaders Avenue. So the customers who, for most parts, are adversely impacted are the customers in the elevated areas like the Rose Heights or the Norwood. So when the system comes back operational after a problem, you'll find that the customers on the lower lying area gets water first. So the system has to be properly charged before it reaches those customers on the elevated area.
It is not unusual for other intakes in the western part of the country to face similar turbidity problems. One such is the Marthabury intake in Trelawney. It serves customers as far away as St. Anne and feeds back into the Great River system. Despite the challenges of turbidity, strides are being made to improve efficiency in another area by way of the use of the automatic screen cleaning machine.
This forms part of the bigger part of a project in terms of expanding the plant in terms of its capacity. So the plant original design is 6 million gallons per day. A couple of years ago we had a 5 million gallon aspect of it, take it up to 11 million gallon. Unfortunately, we're not able to realize the full potential of the plant because of certain deficiencies that exist in the system. The main deficiency was the intake, the inability to maintain the water going to the treatment plant for treatment. With this infrastructure behind me, what it does is enable us to extract the 11 million gallon irrespective of the condition of the water.
NWC customers are the ultimate beneficiaries of this technologically advanced equipment.
With this, we're able to clean the intake without any human intervention because it is really the state of the art. It's programmed to rotate every 6 hours, so it cleans itself every 6 hours, right? It is fully programmable, so it's computerized. Nobody needs to come here and watch it. It's basically maintenance free. It maintains itself. So as I mentioned before, it's a state-of-the-art equipment, and what it does, it enhances our efficiency.
So you've seen the Great River system and the Martha Brae system. There is, however, another system that serves parts of the West, the Lockwood Treatment Facility. This facility is not fed by one river.
We harness water from 2 sources for this treatment plant. From the Fish River, approximately 1 million gallons per day, and from the Patterson Blue Hole, which is just behind us. They're all raw water, so we have to treat it, we have to disinfect it and distribute it.
Quite a number of areas are served by the Lockwood system.
The Lockwood treatment plant serves section of Hanover and also sections of Westmoreland, namely Lucy, Green Island, Pell River, Orange Bay, and Lockwood proper. In Westmoreland, it serves Negril, Norman Manley Boulevard, including all hotels, Orange Hill, New Hope, Good Hope, and also Sheffield.
Lockwood suffers from a major problem, which is a source of much despair for customers.
From time to time, especially during the months of December to March, we normally experience drought. With this drought, the yield from these rivers is low. So what happens is that we are unable to serve the customers in the way we normally serve them when we're outside this drought period.
Customers are strongly encouraged to heed this advice.
Please know that this drought, we are not able to control this drought. We do try our best to supply every customers. I encourage everyone to conserve water as best as possible, and please do have storage.
Even as the NWC is encouraging customers not to turn a blind eye to the drought, the company is forward-looking and is already putting plans in place to address increased demand.
As part of our vision going forward, one of our master plan is to interconnect the water treatment system. That is to interconnect the treatment plants. As Lockwood is connected into the Great River system, but we're not able to pull as much back to this side because of elevation difference. But the master plan for this area and the Negril area is to supplement it with a project from Venture River in Westmoreland that will feed the entire Negril area. We're presently seeking funding to undertake that massive project. But that project in itself will alleviate all the problems surrounding the Negril and going into Lucy problem.
Challenges of drought and turbidity consistently test the mettle of the NWC workforce, but the various response teams are experienced, tried, tested, and proven. An employee that exemplifies these traits is Donovan Nicholson. He is the water production team leader for Hanover.
I am responsible for contractors, mobile operators that function within this plant, and contractors here. Well, I'll have to go through some time to most of Hanover, or parts of Hanover, check some of these lift stations, supervise some of these operators, and also on the plant here at Lockwood most days. A lift station is used to move water from a lower point to a higher point, or to hilly areas, or to areas away from the supply.
Mr. Nicholson has been at the NWC for all of 37 years. Why has he remained with the company for so long?
Just stay because of the, to serve customers, and because I really like the work too.
Throughout his long sojourn, Mr. Nicholson has seen a lot. On reflecting on the standout moments, he remembered the good and not so good experiences.
The bad experience was a year that we had a severe drought. I think it was about 5 years ago, when this plant literally go right down. So we had to work like 24 hours a day for nearly 2 months regulate and to, get water to people, to different people at different time. And also we had massive sometimes demonstrations from our people, some of our customers in the grill and some of the surrounding areas. No, what we did at the time was we put out a schedule for different people. They still quarrel still, but at least they get water. We try to stick to the schedule. The good experience is when we have a full year without none of those problems.
A chapter of Mr. Nicholson's life is coming to an end. Another is about to begin. He remembered the first day he walked into the NWC as he gets ready to walk out for the final time.
It was nice at the time. Still nice still. And I'm actually exiting it this year. Yeah, I'm retiring.
And what will he do when he wakes up each morning only to realize that he is no longer heading to work?
Boy, I don't know how we're going to deal with that one. But you just have to get used to it.
It's a team effort involving persons like Mr. Nicholson that makes the NWC deliver a quality product and service to you, our valued customers. We never compromise on quality, and every day we work to ensure that water meets the quality standards of the Ministry of Health. Those standards are underpinned by the World Health Organization's guidelines for water quality. Let's meet Nadine Patterson, Quality Assurance Manager for the Western Division, who is at the forefront of our laboratory operations. For her and the team she leads, the mantra is, only the best is good enough.
Jamaica has the highest water quality in the world. And because, when you understand that you are contributing to that process, we ensure that our water is adequately treated and that our customers are satisfied with the quality of water that they receive. It gives a sense of fulfillment knowing that you're doing something that is meaningful to help our country to be better.
Before the water reaches your pipes, it goes through a comprehensive and rigorous series of tests,
where we actually test for the quality of the water coming in from the source, because the water has to be good in order for it to be treated. It has to be fit for purpose. And so we have to actually test water from the water treatment source. Next, we have various things that we have to do during the water treatment process, which entails us determining the amount of chlorine that is required for adequate treatment of the water source, the amount of alum that is required based on the turbidity of the water source. And so we conduct various tests to determine how those dosages should be applied as it relates to the treatment of the water. Well, alum is the coagulant or the treatment material that we apply to the water to remove turbidity.
Chlorine is an important ingredient in the treatment process.
We also do the chlorine demand tests, which tells how much chlorine should be added to our water source to ensure that the final treated water quality meets regulatory requirements. When the water is finally treated, it is distributed to our customers, and we also have to ensure that the water quality is also protected while it's being distributed to customers. And so we have to test, we conduct bacteriological tests on a daily basis on all of our water treatment facilities to ensure that the quality that customers receive meets regulatory standards.
The NWC is an institution whose staff members have a passion for what they do. For employees like Ms. Patterson, this is not just a job, but a career to make a difference.
I've been at the NWC for the past 25 years. And I think that it's the people that I work with. So my greatest asset as a manager. My staff is very supportive. They embrace the work. We work as a team and they own the job. They own it. They all love it. And that makes life easier for me as a manager. And just the level of camaraderie that we share here makes it a good place to be.
The NWC is also a place to learn and grow.
NWC is the best company in the world to work. NWC, you get a wealth. NWC itself can consider itself as a university for engineers.
Ultimately, our customers can be assured that the NWC will always go above and beyond to deliver quality service.
We have a very dedicated work team who works overtime. For most part, I can tell you, it's really a thankless job because a man really just wants to go to, to the pipe and turn the pipe to get water. But there's a process that is involved.
And now you are more aware of that process. As a customer, you are at the center of all that we do because we know that water is life. You can be assured that we will stay true to our slogan, serving you in so many ways.